Only a point clear of Manchester United, who after that win today have moved up into fifth. Chelsea's 2-0 win at home to Brentford has taken them up into sixth, and they find themselves just the 2 points off the top four at the moment. Brentford knocked down into seventh after that first defeat in their last 7 games. And Sunderland continue to be absolutely brilliant this season. They're unbeaten in the league at the Stadium of Light. A 2-1 win today at home to Crystal Palace, and that takes them up a couple of places from 10th into 8th.
Of the end result, you'll be disappointed, but there will be lots of mixed feelings, I imagine, from today.
No, my main feeling is disappointment, because in football it's always about the result, and it's not for the first time after a game that players, fans are disappointed. I think it was different today in a sense that we even had more ball possession than we usually have, and we created much more chances than we usually do with that ball possession. So that's probably what you mean with that there are also positives to take. But in the end, Burnley at home, with all the respect to them, but promoted side, we should be better. We should create more chances than them, but we should also win the game if you are Liverpool. It
seemed so much more balanced, and there was a point in the game where the crowd was singing about the Liverpool way. Such was the appreciation of how you'd gone at it. It felt a bit different today, the performance here.
No, definitely. I think in the beginning of the season, when we started losing games, there were a lot of games where we created quite a lot of chances, but we conceded a lot as well. Then there was a period of time where we did not create as much anymore, but hardly conceded a chance, and that's in the run we're in now. That's why we haven't lost for a long time. And today I think we had a good combination of hardly conceding a chance and creating a lot, but still not able to win, and that is a frustration for everyone involved with Liverpool.
And just finally, those fine margins, you've spoken about them a lot, haven't you, this season? It's how to change them. It's the million-dollar question in many ways, isn't it? Is it a matter of luck? Is it just grit and determination that gets you out of that situation?
If it goes on, as long as it goes on with us, because I don't think we've stolen any point this season, and so many times we've been on the wrong side of the score when it comes to performances. So then at some point you can argue if it's luck or bad luck, but again, players try to do everything till the end. We try to make offensive substitutions as well, and that's the way you try to force your luck. And in the end of the game, we were a few times very close, but close is not enough.
And 32 shots Liverpool had, 11 of them on target. That's the most of any Premier League game this season. And yet, with a missed penalty in there as well, they couldn't get all 3 points against the team second from bottom, Michael.
Yeah, look at those numbers. It's depressing viewing for Liverpool because, listen, they weren't brilliant today, but they're certainly good enough to win a game, but they're just not ruthless at the moment. Haven't been for some time now, most of the season, in fact. You never feel totally safe when they're 1 goal ahead. And despite, their XG of nearly 3 goals there and Burnley hardly getting a chance, they walk away having dropped 2 points. So deeply frustrated. They need to start finding good performances again, rather like what we spoke about earlier with Manchester United. Results, yes, they're important. Yes, they need to get into the Champions League, but they could do with starting to play really well again, make Anfield a real tough place to come. At the moment, too many teams are going there thinking, we've got a chance here. Even if we go 1-0 behind, they'll give us a chance. And Liverpool invariably do.
As I say, they missed a penalty in that first half, but they led at the break, all was going swimmingly. As a defender, Hugo Ekitike is not somebody you particularly want to come up against, because he was at the heart of this goal, Julian.
Yeah, standing work from him, tenacious, determined, and then skill and quality, and a bit of composure at the end as well, just to roll it and to get something on target. And then picked up by Curtis Jones, but the finish, exceptional. Doesn't have much of the goal to shoot from, but yeah, Ekitike is probably the most consistent performer for Liverpool throughout the season. They have missed him when he's been out, but yeah, Wirtz is slightly finding a bit of form now.
Yeah, it's a lovely touch, isn't it, from Wirtz there, inside the box. It's the one area where he can take it into that's not going to get him tackled by a defender, but it actually gives him options. Once he pulls it onto his right foot here, outside of his foot, now he's got options. And I think going to the far post with so many bodies in the way, so he almost just wraps his foot round, shapes to go one way and pulls it into the top corner. It was a lovely finish.
And that was their half-time lead, but for a team like Burnley, who've got 3 points in the previous 36, as Michael says, Peter, these sides are having belief now at Anfield that they can go and get something, and they did.
They had the opportunity to go in at half-time only 1-0 down. They came out really firing in all cylinders. And you can start talking about the way Liverpool defence are playing this season, and there are too many mistakes. Sometimes it's too easy. We discussed a little bit about Alisson and this one here from the shot from Marcus Edwards. Should he have saved that? I think it's a fantastic finish. It's powerful. It's perfectly exactly where it's supposed to be. Maybe if he stuck his foot out, would have saved that. But I mean, at the end of the day, they deserve that. I don't think the goalkeeper can say that. And at some point during that second half, I actually thought that Burnley was going to win this game because they kind of looked more likely scoring on counter-attacks. They looked really comfortable defending. And I mean, the stats are saying something else, 31 goals and shot on target. But they looked comfortable. Liverpool kind of didn't look like scoring again. I mean, it's funny because we've been talking about since the start of the season, they have to sort of become Liverpool players and perform like Liverpool players. And the two players that were always singled out was Wirtz and Ekitike. Ekitike started well, still playing well. Wirtz playing really well now. Really well, but somebody else is not playing well, so it's not kind of working.
But they can't play in defence, unfortunately,
no.
can they? Because
well, exactly.
They are
That's
too
the funny
susceptible,
thing.
aren't they?
That's the funny thing. Everybody at the start was, and me included, when you're trying to search for a reason why aren't Liverpool at the levels they were last season, everybody said, oh, lots of changes, lots. But actually, their best couple of players today were possibly Wirtz and Ekitike. Ekitike has been a star signing. In fact, I thought Kirk has played one of his better games today as well. So those three players have come in and actually done OK. Defensive, they've looked really, really shaky. Konate, in the main this season, has been quite shaky. And they need to get back to the levels of last season. And that's a good thing about Liverpool. You know that these players, when on form, you know, they ran away with the league last season, absolutely waltzed it. So they are capable, they just got to rediscover it, which is probably easier than questioning whether they're good enough. These players are good enough, they just need to rediscover their form.
Just on the Burnley chances, actually the biggest chance in the game was Konate, nearly put in pass. Alisson, and that is one of the things that's been going on for quite a while. It's something they absolutely need to sort out because they're giving too many goals away. And if you're not scoring, we're still 1-0 up at Anfield. You know, keeping a clean sheet is giving you the 3 points. So they need to sort that out. And they kind of look, I don't know what's going on there. Everything looks out of sync between Konate and Van Dijk. I don't know what it is. You're the expert.
But you're enjoying it.
No, I'm not. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not like
he's
that.
the expert defender.
I'm enjoying what happened earlier on
goals.
today. Very much so, you know.
Yeah, no disrespect, but the Liverpool fans have probably had enough from a Manchester United legend on there. What about Liverpool's heart of defence, very quickly? What's the issue here?
Just inconsistencies, yeah. Looking at that goal there, I think Konate could move across, make it more difficult to get a shot off initially. But, yeah, there's just no... they're not having much luck. It looks like low on confidence, and we speak from that point of view in regards to when you are low on confidence, you are a bit more tentative in your positioning, you don't feel as quick, as strong, so you want to be safe in your positioning. So, yeah, he's probably trying to resist going a little bit wider to expose himself. And Van Dijk's the same. It's not just Konate. They're playing as a partnership and they don't seem to be in sync as much. They always seem to be isolated, and as a defensive partnership, you can't be like that.
Oh, very good afternoon to you. Just how critical might that point prove come May and the end of May in terms of your survival hopes?
No, of course. Obviously, to come to Anfield, a place like this, is always going to be difficult. But I think we can quite say that we rode our luck a little bit today. But the lads dug in and got a point that, you know, is well deserved at the end of the day.
Walks, it's Dawes. I hope you're well, mate.
All right, mate.
What did Scott Parker say to you at half-time? I watched the game and I saw the first half. You were backs against the wall. Second half, you came out and you had a right go and you got your rewards with the goal from Marcus Edwards.
Yeah, listen. Obviously, you know, Scotty. You know, the gaffer is very forward-thinking. I think when you come to a place like this, you have to enjoy the experience. You have to enjoy the experience of playing at Anfield, and you give them a little bit of respect, but you don't roll the red carpet out for them. And I think in the first half we gave them a little bit too much, where they was picking up in areas where we didn't really like it. And then the second half we've come and played, I think, some good football in some areas.
Walks, it's Tim. I think that'll give you huge belief today, won't it, going forward? You would have wished your whole team would have done you a favour beating West Ham, but unfortunately they couldn't today.
Yeah, I've walked in and seen that West Ham have just scored a late winner which is obviously a little bit disappointing for us. But it's not around other people. It's down to us. It's down to us, and it's up to the group of men that are in that change room to go and do something special this season. Obviously, that's gave us a step in the right direction to where we want to finish in the end of the season. But we just have to keep going one game at a time, and let's see where we end up at the end of the season.
Hi, Carl, Paul Merson. Just want to say, how do you know, as a group, do you feel disappointed with the amount of points you got? Because bar probably the Brighton game away, you're always in matches. Do you know what I mean? You never get blown away. It's always by the odd goal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's I think what we've said in the last couple of games. That's a disappointing thing, that each and every game we've been there and thereabouts. Obviously, you need to take in this league, you need to take your chances. When we get the chances, we need to take them and put them in the back of the net. But it's a positive that we're there, you know, come the end of the game in every game, and we need to make sure that, like today, we're going to take points when we can and we need to. Walks, you're an experienced player in that dressing room. You're 7 points from safety. Is there still a belief there that you can get out of the situation you're in? I've been at the opposite end of it, where we've been chasing teams, and you never say die. I think you go until the last kick of the game. I've won the Premier League in the last kick of game, or when we've been 2-0 down against Aston Villa. So I take that belief into this dressing room, because the lads are very honest lads. I can assure you that they're a very honest bunch of lads, and they'll die for each other, and that's what we need to do every game on the field. And whatever will be come the end of the season, but at least each and every one of us can look in the mirror at the end of it and say that we've given our all.
Walks, on a personal level, how much life is there in the old dog?
Some days less than others, I can tell you that. Some days I do feel a little bit stiff, but listen, I fully enjoy it.
Are you still the quickest man in the room?
I think Broge might have got me now. I think Broge or Lyle Foster might have got me, but it's disappointing to say that I'm not the quickest anymore. But I've fully enjoyed, you know, every bit of my career, and this is another learning curve for me. It's another learning curve and something that I'm fully enjoying.
And Carl, I don't feel I know you well enough to call you Walks, but just on that note, I mean, you've got Tottenham at home to come next, and then after that, it's West Ham at home as well. This is a very different challenge for you. We're used to seeing you winning trophies, winning titles as well. Very different kind of challenge, but nonetheless, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, listen, it's a different type of challenge. It's something that, come the start of the season, something that I was very involved in. Obviously, winning with Manchester City for so long, and what I did and fulfilled in my career was an absolute privilege. But this is a different sort of challenge, and it's one that I'm fully enjoying. You know, going into work every day, passing on my knowledge, and you know, putting myself up against it. Really, it's all right when you're having 90% of the ball and winning 2-3-0 every game, which I've been lucky enough to do. You know, not just at Man City, but you know, at the right end with Tottenham and with Tim as well. But I'm really enjoying it. And there is still life in the old dog.
There certainly is, Carl. Really appreciate your time. Thanks ever so much.
Cheers, thanks, guys. Cheers, lads. Thank you.
So the reigning champions lead at Anfield by 1-0 against Burnley at half-time after they'd missed the opportunity to take the lead from the penalty spot. First of all, let's have a look at the incident leading up to that. Were they slightly fortunate to get this, Michael, do you think?
Probably. There was definite contact. There was a sort of knee on knee. There's a little bit there. But, I mean, I think Gakpo exaggerates it. You know, if you're a Liverpool fan, a Liverpool manager, you're thinking that is a pen. There's definitely a little bit of a touch, but he goes down very, very softly. The one thing is, when the referee gave it, it was always going to stay as that decision because there is contact and it's referee's call. There's nothing shocking about that decision. Whether some people think it's just a pen, some people think it's probably not. Once he gave it, there was never going to be a change of mind.
I think it was a pen. Initially, I wasn't so sure, but seeing that last view there, and that was the referee's angle, yeah, it looked like there was enough contact for Gakpo to go down.
Dominic Szoboszlai, who'd scored in the Champions League with his first Premier League penalty.
Yeah,
not quite.
Hasn't had the best week or so, has he? He's gone for a little bit of direction, but mainly power, and he struck it really well. But the harder you hit it, the more chance it's got of going high, and that wasn't his finest moment, as I say. He's, after his midweek exploits, probably a week to forget so far.
Yeah, and you saw the reaction there of Arne Slot, but they do lead just before half-time, courtesy again of Florian Wirtz. He'd gone 16 games in the Premier League without a goal. He's got 3 and 5 now.
Well, I just think this guy that we're watching in the build-up, Ekitike, is absolutely brilliant. You know, he's direct, he's strong, he's aggressive, he's got a lovely touch. I think we're going to be talking about him as being one of the best centre-forwards in the world in the next year or so. I think he's that good. Ball drops for Wirtz. He's in a load of space, almost opens out. This is the best thing about this is his first touch. He only needs one touch to get it into a perfect position. Bang. Outside foot, caresses it into a position where now he's got options. Now he can either go for the far corner or he could sweep it back and pull it into the near post. But that first touch gives him the option to do that. Look at this, outside the foot. Just not far enough to get a tackle, but it's in playing distance and bang into the
no chance for Dubravka there, nightmare.
No. I mean, we can talk about how well Wirtz is doing there, but that goal is all about Ekitike. The intent to not give up. And, he's been an impressive signing for Liverpool. When you think about this summer, it was all about one player from Newcastle, and it went on and on and on, and he sneaked in, but he's a guy. He's the number one there. He's been unbelievable.